Hello, my name is Sally and I am one of the makeup artists working with Look Fabulous Forever, which is hair care, skincare and makeup specifically designed for the older face. Today I want to show you a makeup look for blue eyes like mine. And I have already done my skincare preparation this morning. So I've put on my moisturisers, I've done my SPF 50 plus daily serum, and I've used hydration hold serum and smooth the face day cream, and I've let that sink in. And I have also done my base today. I've used smooth like silk face prime all over, and then I've used a mixture of continuous cover foundation in shade 2 with a little bit of Light Look Beauty Balm in shade 1 and a little tiny bit more of the face prime mixed together with those. So I've put my foundation on, and then I have put some concealer on. I've put a little bit of concealer around the under eye area, and I've used Cover to Cover concealer in shade 2. And I have also put a little bit of translucent powder and my peach cream blusher and my bronzer. So I have done my face. I haven't put any lips on, and I've done absolutely nothing with my eyes. So I want to talk to you a little bit about eyes and colour and what to use. So I often get asked, if you've got blue eyes, should you use blue eyeshadow or should you not use blue eyeshadow? There are no definite rules with eye makeup and eye colour, but one thing I would say is if you're not sure, then first of all have a good look, really close look at your blue eyes and see whether the little flecks inside them have got some warmth in them, or whether they're more grey. I've got sort of greeny yellowy flecks in my blue eyes, which sometimes make my eyes look a little bit more green than blue. And you might find you have flecks in your eyes that make your eyes look a little bit more sort of cooler grey blue, or they might be just piercing blue. So that's quite worth knowing, what sort of colour flecks, because that can be important later. If you have got blue eyes, to be safe, it's quite nice to go to the opposite colour. If you've got a colour wheel, opposite of blue are the sort of the warm sort of oranges and warm browns. So if you can imagine yourself at the seaside on a lovely blue summer's day, if you look at the sand and then look at the sea, then the sea will look really blue in comparison to the sand. If you look at the sea in comparison to a very blue sky, there's not much contrast, so you don't sort of see the blue of the sea. So if you want your blue eyes to pop out, sometimes using a contrasting colour, like a sort of a browny colour, warm browns, can make your blue pop out. So browns, coppers, gold, terracottas, like the golden mist as well can look really nice on blue eyes, can look good. However, as I said, there's no absolute rules here, because it can depend on how warm or cool your overall skin tone and colouring is. I am genuinely warmer, but if you are much cooler in your skin tone, and if you're not sure, go onto our colour quiz and give that a go on the website, and that might help you decide. So if you're cooler, you might look better contrasting your blue eyes, not with the sort of warm browns, but with things like the greys, the soft greys would be lovely. And actually, I sometimes even use pewter grey, even though I've got blue eyes and I am warmer. Pewter grey, because it's not, what I would avoid is a blue that is identical blue to the blue iris colour that you have, because then it won't pop out. But if you go for a sort of bluey grey or something that's a little bit more lilac in it, then that can also make your blue eyes stand out. So I sometimes wear the pewter grey, I sometimes wear the pinks, I sometimes wear the soft greens. And again, sometimes a teal can work really nicely with blue eyes, particularly if you've got some of the greeny flecks in your eyes. So if you want to go for a blue eyeshadow and you've got blue eyes, don't go for one that's exactly the same as your iris. Go for a sort of a complementary blue, maybe one that's a bit lighter or a little bit darker or a little bit more green, or maybe a little bit more grey, like the pewter grey. That will work. But if you want to be safe, then go for a contrasting colour. So I'm going to demonstrate the sort of the warmer look, the warmer brown terracotta look on me because I'm warmer. If you're cooler, but you still want to go for the brown look, then I would go for something like Taupe, because Taupe is a brown which will contrast, but it's got a little bit of grey in it, so it's not too yellowy. So that would be good if you've got blue eyes, but you're cooler. As would, as I said, the greys, maybe the pinks, and the lilacs. So let's show you today my look, going for a sort of a contrasting look of warm browns with my blue eyes, and hopefully you'll see that the blue will pop out even more. So let's put my clip in and get started. Okay, so I've got nothing at all on my eyes, and the first product that I am going to use today is called Smooth Out Eye Prime. And this for me is an essential item if I'm going to apply eyeshadow to my eyes, and even if I'm not going to apply eyeshadow to my eyes, because I have got little veins and a bit of discoloration on my eyelids. So this product will cover that up really well. I used to just use a little bit of foundation on my eyes until I discovered this, and I think this is specifically for older eyes, which not only need covering because of the sort of little veins, but because we get a little bit more lined. They're not as smooth, a little bit crepey, and therefore eyeshadow creases a lot more with older eyes. And this product is specifically designed to stop that from happening. So I'm going to take just a small amount. You can either put it on with your fingers, or today I'm just going to put it on with my concealer brush number 4. Make sure that your eyelids have got no oil on them and are dry when you put this product on. And then it will just go on really smoothly. Just use my finger, clean finger, just to smooth it a little bit more. So even if I wasn't wearing eyeshadow, putting a little bit of this on actually just means that you look even. Okay, so going with the theme of the opposite from blue on the colour wheel, I'm going to use a product which is one of our lovely eye shades in Terracotta. So this kind of matches what I'm wearing as well today. I'm going to use this as a base colour all over my eyelids. So I'm going to use my eyeshadow brush number 7. And I'm going to just put this all over my eyelid. It's kind of a coppery colour. It's a little bit like the bronzer actually. Really good with blue eyes, particularly if you've got a little bit of warmth in your skin as well. You might be a redhead or have some red in your hair and blue eyes, and this works really well for that look and that colouring. So I'm bringing it to just above the socket line and all over the lid. Make sure you put enough of the base colour on so that it's not patchy, you haven't got any little gaps. Okay, the second colour I'm going to use is, again, it's a nice warm brown and it's called Cocoa. So this is in the single trio and it's matte. All of these colours are completely matte, which is really, really nice and flattering to older eyes that have got the odd line and wrinkle like mine. So I'm going to now use a smaller brush. This is the eyeshadow brush number 9, which is really good for doing a little bit more precise work with eyeshadow. So let's take a bit of Cocoa And in case you get a bit of spillage, I'm just going to do this, just to stop any spillage. And I'm going to put this just above my socket line in a sort of arc shape. And if you've got lines like I have here, just sort of place it more like that rather than trying to do it in a perfect arc. And then I'm just bringing it down onto the base of my lash as well. So you can just see that what I've done is I've put it above the crease so that I can still see that colour when my eye is open, which will have the effect of lifting my eye up. So let's do the other side as well. So just look with your eye open and think, okay, I want to just see that colour. Once you've got the right place, then you can close the eye. A bit like a windscreen wiper motion. And then bringing it down just onto the base of the lash. So once you've placed the product, it needs blending, and blending makes such a big difference to eyes. So go back to the first brush, which is a little bit bigger, so it's perfect for blending, and using quite firm but small strokes, blend it. I like to go out to in so that I'm not dragging the eyeshadow too much down my face, which can just droop everything. So you're basically blending it where you put it on, but you're softening the edges so that one colour just merges into the other. And the darker the colour that you use in the socket line, the more you need to blend it so that it doesn't look obvious. You just want it to flow. So already I can see my eyes are sort of standing out because of the contrast of the sort of the warm browns, the terracotta and my blue. So I've got the sort of the image of the sand and the sea. Always nice to have an image of the sea. Right, so I'm going to do some outlining and defining of my eyes now, and that makes a big difference. Often with blue eyes, they need that little bit of definition. If you've got the sort of the cooler look, you might want to go with a soft grey eyeliner, but because I'm going with the brown look, I am going to today use the dark brown soft eyeliner, which is this one, to define my eyes. So I'm going to go just at the base of my upper eyelashes. And the secret with eyeliner is to try and get it actually onto the base of your lashes and not above, so you don't get that little gap between your eyeliner and your lashes. So you want it to be as close. And because these are so soft, you can just do it in little strokes rather than trying to do one perfect line, which is much harder as you get older because the eyes are not as smooth as they were when you were younger. So little strokes. What I like to do is taper it a little bit so it's a little bit higher and wider on the outside, and then just disappearing in, which will just make my lashes look a little bit thicker. I love the softness of these eyeliners. They're really gentle and easy to use. Easy. If you make a mistake, just take a cotton bud, a little bit of your foundation, and just neatly go over, wipe over, and you'll get a nice straight line if you can't manage to get that straight line. So and what I'm going to do is I am going to go for a slightly lighter colour underneath, which I often do. I'm going to go for warm taupe. So just not quite as dark. Sometimes if you go too dark with a blue eye, it can be a bit overpowering. If I had strong brown eyes, then I might go with the dark brown definitely on the bottom as well. I sometimes do. I sometimes wear the brown on the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to use a darker colour. This is chocolate, and this is a really lovely dark brown, and it is an eyeshadow. And I'm going to use my wedge brush number 8, and I'm just going to go over and set the eyeliner on the top. So taking a little bit onto the brush, and then I'm just literally where I have just gone with the dark brown eyeliner, I am softening it and setting it with the eyeshadow. If you don't have an eyeliner, you can just do this. Don't use the eyeliner, just use the wedge brush and the dark shadow chocolate. I like to have the eyeliner as my sort of base underneath, because then I know it's not going to budge, it's going to be there all day. Okay, right, so what I'm going to do now is to put a little bit of mascara on, because my lashes need defining. I've defined the outer edges of my eyes, so I'm going to use my Lithe Lash mascara in black waterproof. I just find my eyes water a little bit in this weather, in this cold weather, so I like to use a waterproof mascara so that I'm not going to get any smudges. So let's just put this on. I sort of blink onto the brush, then you can get right into the roots of your lashes. Wiggle it a little bit in the base of the lashes. This is a great mascara for older eyes because it's leaves your lashes being pliable. They don't go all spiky and stiff or clumpy. So they look very natural, which I think is really important as you get older. And you can build up as many layers as you want. So if it's an evening look, you might just want to really go for it and layer it on, and it still won't look spiky or unnatural. And you can see already, hopefully, that the blue is standing out a little bit more. I could have used brown mascara, but brown or black for me works really well. So now I need to define my brows a little bit, which will also enhance my blue eyes. And I'm going to use a product called Instant Bright Highlight first, just underneath my brow bone, which will just create a little bit of light without it looking too shimmery, which will make my brows stand out more and sharpen them. I'm going to put a little bit just on my cheekbones, on top of where I put my blusher, and a stripe down the centre of my nose. I quite like to do that with this, and a little bit in my frown lines, while I have got my favourite, I call this my magic pen, clicky pen. And now I'm going to use the spoolie brush, this is brush number 6, just to groom my brows before I use my Bring Back Brow, so that there aren't any going the wrong way. They seem to they grow in different directions now, they never used to. So I'm now going to use Bring Back Brow Shape. There it is, Bring Back Brow Shape. Just to fill in my brows. This is in shade Blonde. Sometimes I use brown, sometimes I use blonde. So I'm going to use the blonde one today. And I'm just going to, using little feathery strokes, fill in my brows and just elongate a little bit because I've lost the end of my brow. I keep saying I don't know where it's gone, but it's gone. On one side, the side that I sleep on more, it's disappeared even more. I think it just rubs away during the night. And just little feathery strokes on this side, just to actually paint in the missing hair. And just elongate a little bit on that side too. And the secret to this product is to then go back with the spoolie brush number 6 again and soften the effect. It makes all the difference. Because it's waterproof, you know that once you've done your brows, they will stay all day. So if it was evening, what I might also do, again, to bring out the blue of my eyes, is to use Sheer Brilliance lid colour in Golden Mist. And I might put a little bit just in the centre of my eye, or even in the inner V of my eye, just for an evening look. So that's another product that you could use. And if you are cooler, but you've got blue eyes, then the Silver Mist in this also works really well. So it's a really pretty sort of grey, with a little bit of purple in it, and that really brings out blue as well in the cooler look for blue eyes. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to do some lips. I need my lips, and I'm going to use today lip liner, defining lip liner in Roseberry, this one. So I'm outlining first. And then I'm just filling in roughly. And I'm going to use a sort of a warm but fairly neutral lipstick today. I am using the shade Tawny Beige, which is this one, which I really like. So and then just a little touch of my gorgeous gloss Lip Shine in Cinnamon Kiss, which I also really like. So let's put a little bit, just in the centre of my lips. And at this stage, I go back and think, do I need any more blusher? Having done my eyes, or any more bronzer? I'm going to put just a sweep more bronzer on. And there we have the finished look. So this is makeup for blue eyes. As I said, no wrong or right really with eye makeup. You can be a little bit adventurous. So do have a good look at your blue eyes. Look at the colours right in the centre, the different flecks that you have. And it might be that you can draw out, if they're a bit more greeny, then maybe the greens would also look nice. But if you want to be fairly safe, then go for a contrast. So contrast on the colour wheel, which is sort of a brown. And I've today gone for the slightly warmer browns, the terracottas, which will hopefully, you can see that my eyes stand out a little bit, pop a little bit more. And if you want to use a blue, again, maybe go for one that's got a slightly different, so go for pewter grey or go for a blue that's not exactly the same as your blue, because then you won't get that contrast. So have a bit of fun experimenting with your blue eyes, and let us know if there are any colours that you use that you really feel bring out the blue in your eyes. We would love to hear. It's always helpful for everybody else to get different ideas, so we'd love to hear. I really hope that you have enjoyed today's video, and I will look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.